You are not lacking self-control. You're overeating because you're too controlled. Let me explain. When I was a student, this was 6 years ago, many moons ago, I would binge every Friday night. I'd go to Tesco after having a perfect week and I would buy a tub of ice cream. I would eat the whole tub of ice cream and then I would go back to Tesco because I just needed more. I wanted more. I couldn't stop. I'd then buy biscuits, chocolate, everything, sit and binge on a Friday night, and then the spiral would begin. This is, by the way, after being a very not studenty student. So this is after revising all week, time blocking the schedule, going and sitting in the library, walking to the library, getting steps in, hitting everything perfectly, training in the morning, eating well, meal prepping at uni, weighing food out at uni, tracking food at uni, and then Friday night would come around and it'd be like, right, fuck that, that is out the window, I need some ice cream right now. And I just could not understand this for years. I did this for a few years, okay, because I was disciplined, I had self-control, I had all the willpower in the world Monday to Thursday, and then Friday night I was like a completely different person. And I see this pattern in women so often. You think you don't have any self-control, you just need more willpower at the weekend, you need to be more strict at the weekend, you feel like two different people. Why is that? Inside of this video we are going to break down this pattern so that, one, you can understand it, but two, you can actually break this pattern and stop blaming yourself, stop trying to be more strict, stop trying to make up for it every Monday after the weekend has gone. There is actually a theory called ego depletion theory that shows you that willpower and self-control are actually limited resources. What does that mean? That means that you can only make so many decisions, you can only use your willpower and self-control for so long before it runs out, a bit like your energy levels run out at the end of the day. Self-control up here is all the same, that runs out too. So then what do? You need strategies in place so that you're not always relying on willpower, because when it goes, it's gone. For example, you walk through the door at 8 p.m. after you've had a stressful day at work, you've made decisions all day, you've been good all day, you've trained in the morning, you've said no to a latte on the way to work that you really wanted, you said no to biscuits in the office, you've sat in loads of traffic, also pissed you off, very irritating, you've literally gotten in from work, you have eaten a nice meal that you prepared the night before, it was already there and prepped, and then 8 o'clock you are literally just depleted. You've had a very long day, it's been one of those days, you've been on the go, you've had to make decisions at work, you said no, you've used a lot of your brain power, and then by 8 p.m. you don't want to do that anymore, you've run out and you just think, oh, let me just have a biscuit. And then the spiral kicks in. Or maybe you are a bit of a weekend warrior and it gets to Friday night, 6 o'clock Friday, you've ticked everything off perfectly all week, done all of your sessions, you've been walking around on your lunch, getting your steps in, you've been smashing your water every day, you have been prepping meals, eating healthy meals, you've turned down a few treats in the office, and then Friday night you get through the door after work and you're a different person. You're like, fuck all of that, I just need some treats right now. So what is going on? Why are you two different people? Is it that you just need more self-control, you need to be more strict, you need more discipline? No, it's not, okay? We need some different strategies, okay? So I want you to stop blaming your self-control, thinking that you need to be more controlled, because you're already controlled. If you're already hitting all of those things in the week, then you already have self-control, you already have discipline, you can already use your willpower, okay? You don't need more of those things. So I want you to stop blaming yourself, and I want you to think about your week as a whole as two different parts, okay? So in the week, what we need is a little bit more relief in the week, okay? We need a bit more flexibility in the week. For example, if you are cutting out treats till the weekend, exactly what I used to do when I was a student, but like, nope, gonna have ice cream on a Friday. What do we do on a Friday? Binge on everything after the ice cream. So we need a little bit more flexibility in the week. So not just eating what you want, eating treats for the sake of it, but actually having planned indulgences into your week. This is exactly what I implement with my clients. We call it mindful indulgence, actually choosing to eat a sweet food, a food that you would want to eat, rather than just trying to ban it, pretending that you don't actually enjoy it, pretending you're not going to eat it for the next 8 weeks. and binging on it anyway, you may as well just have it into your plan, and that way it doesn't become this big thing in your mind where you can't stop thinking about it when you eat it, you feel out of control and you need to eat more, okay? All of that just simmers away. Your cravings drop. So how can you plan something into your week so by Friday you're not literally climbing the walls thinking about chocolate, thinking about the next week treat? Is it that you need to just buy some ice cream or some chocolate, plan it into your day, eat it with a yogurt bowl at night, and you're done, for example? But this doesn't just revolve around food, okay? This can actually revolve around stress levels and actually how you're going through the week, because if every single day is back to back tasks, work, commutes, and there's never a moment in your week where you actually just sit and chill without like checking your phone, checking your emails, checking everything, then we've got a bit of a problem, okay? Because that is why you collapse at the weekend, because you need some form of relief. Everybody needs relief, okay? You're not a bad person for wanting a bit of comfort at the weekend or wanting a bit of comfort in the evening after work. It's usually just a bit of relief from life, because life is very hectic and chaotic. When you go to the gym, you go to work, you go to home, you make your food, and then it's just time to get up and do it all again. So how can you find a little bit of relief in your week, whether that is going to a yoga class? This one really works for me because, do you know what, guys, I will just work through. I'll just work through. Just fill up the diary with absolutely everything productive, and then you get to the weekend and you just want to crash and burn. So yoga class, you literally have to book in, you have to take yourself. That really forces me to switch off. Doesn't need to be a biggie like that though. It can literally be reading in bed. So instead of scrolling, instead of getting more dopamine hits from your phone, you put your phone away, you have literally half an hour for yourself before you go to sleep, and you literally just have a read and you get lost in a story. I also love that as well. Absolutely love reading. It's just my favourite thing in the world. So how can you add a bit more relief into your week so come the weekend you're not literally exhausted and just want to collapse and eat loads of food? But then the opposite applies at the weekend. So at the weekend, at the moment, you've probably got a bit too much flexibility, bit too much comfort, bit too much relief. How can we add some structure with flexibility into your weekend? So this would look like, for example, actually having a plan for the weekend, guys, because if you get to the weekend and there's nothing planned, you're just going to fall off of things, okay? Not because you're a bad person, but just because you've been so structured in the week, and then when you've got no structure, your brain is just like, and you can't cope. And then you'll start picking at foods. If there's no food in, you're going to choose bad choices, snacks. Then it all falls out of hand. Then come Monday, you're going to be like, oh, I need to be stricter at the weekends. All you need is a little bit more structure in your weekends, but with flexibility, okay? So this might look like for you planning a nice breakfast on a Saturday morning that you can actually put some effort into and enjoy. Because when you're eating meal prep every day of the week, by a Saturday, you don't want to eat meal prep. You want to actually enjoy some food, because food is to be enjoyed as well. So could you make yourself a nice bit of French toast? That is my new fave. Or now that the sun's out, it could be a little smoothie bowl. Oh, I love those. Smoothie bowl, we get all the seeds, we get all the berries, we make it pretty. We really just romanticise that meal. Same thing Saturday night. Can you plan a nice meal that you want to cook either on your own or with your partner on a Saturday night, and you're going to get the candles out, you're going to make something tasty, you're going to be present, you're going to actually enjoy that food instead of leaving it to last minute, panicking, and then just throwing a pizza in the oven and regretting it the next day. So we still need to plan, we still need to have some structure, but we want to add a bit more flexibility in there too. So I need you to recognise where these patterns are showing up for you. Is it a weeknight, or is it the weekend? Or is it 3 p.m. on a weekday when you've literally been going all morning, all afternoon, and you're at your office and you're at your desk and you slump then? So where does this show up for you? What are you going to put in place to counteract this? Is it that you need a bit more flexibility in the week? You're going to add a little planned indulgence in there? Or you're going to have a little bit of a rest, a bit of a switch off in the week? Or is it that you need a little bit more flexibility, structured flexibility at the weekend, and you're going to plan some tasty meals that you enjoy, that you're actually going to want to eat, and then that's just going to revive you then till the next week, instead of the usual pattern of just bang, 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 being rigid controlled all week, getting to the weekend and literally just thinking, fuck this, I don't want to do this anymore. Let me know in the comments what you're going to implement, and I also have some free trainings for you in the description. I'll see you in the next one.